of 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 9. 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 9, where it says, "But he said to me, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Therefore, I will boast all the more gladly of my weaknesses, so that the power of Christ may rest upon me." In the early verses of chapter 12, the Apostle Paul, in his heavenly visions, he said that he caught up to the third heaven and he was with Jesus in paradise. With this experience, he could have boasted, but instead, God gave him a thorn on the flesh. And 3 times he prayed to God that it should leave him. The thorn which God gave him, God chose not to remove, tormented him. Instead of removing the thorns, God did even better. God gave him strength to endure the effects of the thorn. That's why he said, "My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness." In the past few months, I've been mentioning also that I've been suffering pains on my body, and I called it to a thorn on the flesh. God had allowed things in our lives that feel like thorn. Sometimes they feel more than thorns, but swords. He could have easily removed them in our lives, but just as with Paul, God uses them in our lives to help us grow in our dependence on Him. His grace is available and sufficient for us, just as with Paul. He gives us promises of comfort. In 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 13, God said, "I will not give you more than you can handle." And in Hebrews chapter 13, verse 5, he said, my favorite verse, "I will never leave you, I will never forsake you." And in Philippians 4:13, God said, "We have Christ's strength." Paul said, "I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength." So brothers and sisters, our weaknesses should not only help us depend more upon God, but it should draw us closer to Him as we affirm His strength. We are so blessed because of the grace that He has given us. God is indeed worthy of our praise. This is my encouragement to you, brothers and sisters.
Thank you.